What's going on, everyone? Yes, today is another retro toy review, and today I'm reviewing the great epic Meryl Siverburgh from the epic video game Metal Gear Solid from PlayStation 1. Now, this figure is made by Articulation, and it came out a while back. And since I've been doing retro reviews, I figured go ahead and slip a few reviews in that I never did due to either time restrictions and things of that nature. So this will be my very first time reviewing good old Meryl here. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see what the figure has to offer. So right off the back, let me go ahead and bring her in a bit. We're gonna look at details. Now, being the third installment to the Metal Gear Solid 1 line of toys, I'm actually really happy, and I was glad to actually have her in my collection. She looks really good doing with size comparison and just in general. Looks really good grouped up with Solid Snake or even Cyborg Ninja when you just pose all three. This is one of them situations where I kind of wish PlayArt's Kai or Kojima would have considered to keep going with the actual arc, because I would have loved to see all the villains come to life. They kind of stopped off with her and just start bleeding over to the other video games. It was kind of random because they were jumping around. They went from, I think, to this to Metal Gear Solid 2, which was really weird because they went to Metal Gear Solid 2 and only made Solid as Snake and making Raiden, and they kind of just jumped around some more, which it was just really odd. So hopefully maybe down the line one day we'll start getting the other characters from the other games, actually completing the collection versus just having all these scattered pieces of the characters all around, which I don't mind, because I mean you still get the opportunity to actually have them in the first place, but it would just be nice to actually see the other characters being made, especially like a Sniper Wolf or a Vulcan Raven. And I don't know, I just love the fact that Psycho Mantis is creepy as shit, so I kind of wish they would have made a Psycho Mantis figure. I remember seeing some, I don't know if they were fake or they were prototypes, but I remember seeing a Psycho Mantis figure a long time ago, kind of like the mold, but it just never came out. And I would have really liked to see that figure be done, and that way I can get my hands on it. So hopefully one day we'll get the opportunity to actually see the other characters be brought to life one day. But beyond all that though, this was the third character from that line to come out, and once again it was a nice piece that PlayArt's put together. Now, that is your full detail. Let's go ahead and look at height comparison real quick. I don't have Solid Snake out here with me, but I do have somebody on the same height as Solid Snake, so you can kind of see how she paired up with a male character, which they did a really good job. And then dealing with like a 6.5-inch character, she came about that tall. That's a Capello Batman, Greg. So that's the height comparison there. All right. Now, as for the accessories, Meryl came with quite a bit. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to have, especially for her, because you can always use weapons from the other characters and put them on her. Now, she got a nice little knife going on here, which was really well crafted, really nicely done. They did a really good job. So you got like a darker gray hilt, along with like this weird kind of like an off tan. And then you had the gunmetal gray on the blade itself, which is nice about these weapons because, go ahead and focus real quick. Now, it can be stored away. So you didn't have to just have weapons sitting around. You can actually put all your weaponry away on the figure, which in most Metal Gear figures, you can definitely do that with all of them for the most part. Unless it's just like something outrageous, but that went there. So that's the knife. You're gonna get her iconic Desert Eagle, which was also nice. Just all gray gunmetal. Okay, her hand is a tight fit, which is a great thing because you don't have to worry about it slipping out the hand. But due to the tight fit, you can kind of see residue from the hand being gripped around when you're trying to fit the gun in there. So that was one thing that has a tendency to happen when you're trying to put a larger weapon in a hand that's pretty tight fitted, unless you're putting like a blow dryer to it or hot water or whatever. But this also can be stored away like solid snake stuff. I'll go ahead and bring it down so y'all can see. And I noticed on her gun holster versus Solid Snake's, hers was more like a soft rubber. So you get this weapon to fit in there a lot easier versus how Solid Snake weapon was. I don't know if I had a real big problem with Solid Snake weapon, but I know for a fact that it wasn't nowhere near as soft as her pouch. So let's go ahead and push this down, and the weapon is in there. Now, as for all of the Metal Gear toys, I believe, let's see, I think she had the capability of actually closing her gun holster versus all the other figures that came out. All the other ones tried to close the gun holster and they have the tendency to pop out, and I think she might have the same problem. So they have yet to actually make it where the part closes completely. Hers closed, but you can still see it about to come out. But she got the best one so far, further as actually keeping the strap down. So you're gonna get that. Then as for hands, she received 2 relaxed hands from the left and the right. She's gonna get a total of 3 right hands. You're gonna get the relaxed hand, you're gonna get the knife hand, which also was nice and snug. And it didn't come molded weird like that. It was just the fact that the way they put them in the box to fit the hand in there, it kind of like formed this real crooked index finger, which was kind of crappy, but you can always fix it, like I said, with hot water or a blow dryer. But that's the only reason why it looked funky like that. But overall, like the mold itself was nice because you could see the nails, and just in general, everything was bent really well, and the paint job was really nice. Like you can see the mixture of grays and green going on, really nicely done. Then you got the Desert Eagle hand, or any gun hand for that matter. So if you get any gun, you can pretty much fit it in this hand because it was large enough due to the handle size of the Desert Eagle. So if you took like a Metal Gear Solid weapon like the FAMAS, or even like the pistol that Liquid Snake had, you could fit in her hand. So that was really nice. Then you got a ball fist hand, which was for the left arm. And this is basic, just ball fist, nothing special. All right, so that is all of the accessories. I can't remember if this, nope. So this figure did not come with one of the Play Arts Kai stands when they originally came out. So that was one of the things that still wasn't available to buyers when the Play Arts Kai figures were still going on with the Metal Gear Solid series. So that was all you got. Now, as for articulation, I'm gonna go ahead and bring her in close a bit. She's like Cyborg Ninja. She doesn't come with a neck joint, but what makes her different from Cyborg Ninja, she came with actually 2 ball joints. One going into the head, one going into the neck. So it actually allowed her to get a nice tilt, which was really nice. Really nice tilt going on side to side. She couldn't look up really. You can kind of try to maneuver it a tad bit, but it couldn't do too much. But further as looking down, it was great. She can look down, no problem at all. And it stayed flush. You don't see no holes or gaps dealing with the back of the neck, but it worked really, really good. Now going down to the shoulders, she has the butterfly joints. Okay, so her arms can come out of this part and go forward. I'm not going to really force it on mine due to the fact that that was one of the spots that was known for breaking back in the day. And beyond all that, because I really didn't mess with this character too much, she was in the box actually longer and probably more often than Solid and Cyborg. So they're still stiff, really stiff, like brand new stiff. Then coming from the butterfly joint, she has like this really tiny peg or ball joint that's inserted into that part. You might be able to see it. I'll see if I can focus. It's really tiny. So you want to be careful if you ever decide to get this figure. What you don't want to do is be forcing anything, because the pin is pretty small, so you don't want to make any mistakes. Now, coming from that ball joint, it went into a hinge, and on this arm, it didn't go as high, but this arm went a little bit higher. Now, you can always manipulate the arm because it can do it full 360 around, so that wasn't a problem. Okay, now coming to the mid bicep. Go ahead and focus. Sorry about that. Come to the mid bicep, swivel there, which is nicely hidden because it worked with her glove. I think this was great. Now going to her elbow, she actually had a different design altogether from Solid Snake and even the new ones now, which her design wasn't bad at all. I actually liked it a lot. I can see why they stopped though, because I can see a problem occurring if they kept on going, especially when they always having little tech issues here and there. The thing was, she got a really nice bend in the arm, which I don't think, if I'm not wrong, I don't think Solid Snake nor Cyborg Ninja got a bend that good on the elbow, because she just has way more room, and then by the character being a slimmer character, you got more range. It can swivel right below the bicep, and it can swivel right above the forearm. The pad actually sits on a hook, so you can actually make it be close to the body itself, which looks nice and flush, or you can actually just leave it as is, which it sits like that. So I think this was a really cool tech. If they would have perfected it even more, I think this would have even been better. Especially, it's definitely better than the original, but it would have been nice going on some of the other future figures. Now going down to the wrist had a great range of motion going inwards, but for that's going outwards, it was okay. It wasn't much. It can do a full 360 below the wrist joint or above. You can do either or. Now, further as changing out the hands, one thing you want to be careful. This is another joint. Was definitely going through a bunch of tests, trying to see what was the better joint before they got to where they at now. This one had the same exact joint as Deus Ex. I don't know if anybody know about that game. Y'all should though. It was pretty good. Players Kai did make a figure of Jensen, which was the main character of Deus Ex. Has the exact same peg. It's really tiny, really tiny. Had a nice little notch at the tip of the peg, so that's how it kept the hand being on. But these are easy to break. You don't want to be too heavy-handed while applying the fist on there. The hole for that peg is really small. You didn't want to wear it out neither, because what you don't want to do is have a real wobbly hand going on. So be careful with that, because that peg was pretty tiny, but it does work well. Okay, now going down to the mid, this was my very first female, and actually my only female Players Kai figure. So I was actually geeked on how good she maneuvered, because most of the time, for some odd reason, female characters in toys have the tendency to be really hindered on posability due to the fact that, I guess they just look at it as a support character. I don't know, but it's pretty fucked up, because they normally don't give the female character toys as great articulation as they give the male character toys. Which, even though I'm not buying every single female character toy that I purchase, they just have the tendency not to be made great. So I was actually geeked that this one was. They did a really good job on this. But that was the posability, the range of motion that you actually got with her, which was great. So it wasn't so great right here, but it definitely had great posability down here. Now going down to the pelvis actually came with the new ratchet joints during that time period. So Snake and Cyborg Ninja just happened to miss out on that tech. She did have ratchet joints, which gave her a nice amount of motion. Let me go ahead and zoom out for a second. She can damn near do the splits, even with, well, she can definitely do it if this gun wasn't here, but it's in the way right now. So both legs does get up to that height. Okay, going forward, Definitely got a nice amount of range. All right, and then going back, it really couldn't go back due to the fact that this leg was cast with a butt cheek, which gives a more flush impression, which was really cool. They did a really good job on detailing. Now, going down further, down the mid-thigh, the mid-thigh came with a swivel, okay, which was nice. It's always good to have something extra. You can swivel at the top of the hip joint. So you had two swivels technically. You had a double jointed knee, which also was hidden very well. I'll go ahead and bring this up. It was hidden very well. They did a really good job on that. See if I can get a focus for y'all. Let me brighten up a bit for y'all real quick. There we go. So it was well hidden. Looked really good, nice and flush. Okay. Now coming down, you didn't get any type of swivel in this section. It just went straight down. You went straight to the ankle itself. The ankle got about that much up and about that much down. It wasn't much due to the fact of where the boot design. They did give her a mid toe swivel, which does work out really well when it comes down to wide poses. So that is all of the articulation dealing with Meryl. Now, how do I feel about this character? I'm gonna be honest with you. If you never picked her up and you do have the other characters and you was on the fence about having her, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would definitely pick her up. It was a great figure. And it does work really well with the rest of the Metal Gear toys. So that is my review on Meryl. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please continue to check out my channel. I will have other reviews up, and y'all continue to collecting shits, and y'all have a great one. Take care.